The Nintendo Switch is great and all, but in some ways, it sucks. Don't get me wrong, it's probably one of my favorite consoles of all time, and it's done so much for me. But man, some things about this thing are just so dumb. So today, I've compiled a list of over 100 things that I'd like to see changed. Most of these ideas are mine, but I also asked you guys what you'd like to see changed in our community tab. I plan on using it for more videos in the future, so be sure to check it out from time to time and see what posts and polls we got cooking up over there. All right, let's get started. Let's just get this out of the way. Joy-Con drift. We all know it, we all hate it. Let's move on. Themes. Well, what is Nintendo doing here? We've had the Switch for, 5 years now, and all we got are basic white and basic black. The themes tab implies that there's gonna be more themes. I don't know what they're doing with themes. Menu music. This is one of my biggest pet peeves about the Switch. You go into the eShop, and it's just so boring and bland. I remember going on in the Wii shop, and it's an adventure. I'm scrolling through the WiiWare, I'm scrolling through the Virtual Console, I'm scrolling through all the new games, and you got the Wii shop music, and it's magical. The Nintendo Switch eShop is just so lifeless, and it's a shame, man. Next is button sound effects, and this is a small one, but I think this would just really spicing up the Switch. Next are startup sounds, and the Switch just, it needs more personality when it comes to its UI, and I think a startup sound would add to this 100%. Startup animations can be some of the most iconic things that come out of the console, like the GameCube and the PlayStation. If the Switch had its signature click be its startup animation, I could see that becoming nostalgic for years to come, but for some reason we got this boring little Nintendo logo that pops up. It's just so dumb. I don't understand how we can't see how many hours we played of each game. It only shows like a few of them. And the crappy log system we have for new games, especially in like the first 10 days, all it says is brand new game, or I don't know what it says, something right there, I'll put it on the screen. But if the Switch just had a little more power, I could see so many more games coming to the Switch. But right now, it's basically just a Nintendo first-party gaming device, which I guess that's all Nintendo devices, but more power is always good. For how annoying Joy-Cons are, why are they so expensive? If you're having trouble with one Joy-Con, it's still gonna cost you an ungodly amount of money. And for how many people have to deal with Joy-Con drift, at least they could just lower the price a little bit. Then there's that D-pad on the Joy-Con, and I'm not even sure you could call that a D-pad. I understand they wanted to keep it symmetrical between the left and right Joy-Con. I feel like that could have been something we could have compromised, because as you can see, the Switch isn't great about symmetry. But we get a Pro Controller for a reason, and it's got a D-pad, or so I thought. You see, this D-pad, it looks like a D-pad, but in reality, it's just a connected button. That may just all be what a D-pad is in general, but there's no little notch thing in the middle for you to be able to go left, go right. If you click down in the middle of it, it'll click on all of them. I tried playing Punch-Out!, one of my favorite NES games, and I end up having to play on the Joy-Cons because the D-pad on the Pro Controller is just so dog. You can't switch quickly from right to left without it going to the up and down and all around. I hate it. Going back to the power, can we just have 60 frames per second on all of our games? It's 2022 Nintendo. We've got to do something about this. Charging port position while in handheld. I understand from Nintendo's perspective having the port be on the bottom because of the dock. We could easily put this port on the top and it would change nothing. Netflix. Need I say more? Let's have some more Easter eggs and secrets. One of my favorite parts about the Switch is the unlock button noises. More things like that would lead to the Nintendo Switch being one of the best systems of all time. Organization, I don't understand why we're limited to the most recently played game. I think there's so many other ways we can organize our Switch, and the fact that we can't is just absurd. Battery life, the Switch dies in 3 or 4 hours of playing. You can't even play it all the way on a long road trip, so what's even the point? Specialized Joy-Cons. You may not know this if you're a new Switch fan, but back in 2016 and 2017, before the Switch came out, the amount of creative ideas coming from the Nintendo community based around the Joy-Cons was insane. There were so many cool different ideas for adding new controls based on what Joy-Cons you're using, and just none of that was ever added. It's just such a wasted opportunity. Paid online service. For what we're getting, it is not worth the price. And then paid premium online service? Why are we forced to buy a bundle of games that I may not even play? If I'm a big Splatoon guy or if I'm a big Animal Crossing guy, why do I have to subscribe to a service that has both one DLC and the other when I'm not gonna be playing both of them? So I don't understand. Speaking of all of this, the lack of Virtual Console is so saddening. My favorite parts from the Wii U, the 3DS, and even going back to the Wii was the Virtual Console. Nintendo's back catalog is one of the greatest in all of gaming history. And the fact that we're locked down having to pay for an online service to play these games instead of having them on Virtual Console is so sad. And even the new games, like there's DS games on the Virtual Console back on the Wii U, and for some reason we can't play them now. I just don't get it. Speaking of old games, full-priced ports. This one drives me insane. It was my first video on the channel. We actually scrapped that video because it wasn't very good, but it was my first video I ever wanted to make, and I made a better one, but whatever. Full-price ports. Why are these old games $60? Even Wii U games, like I understand those because those are newer games, and some of them like 3D World are worth the price, maybe even a little more because of Bowser's Fury. But why am I having to pay $60 for games that I could go on eBay and buy for 50% cheaper? I don't get it. Next is cloud gaming. I hate it. The Switch is supposed to be portable and I can't play these games on the road. Controller headphone jacks. This just makes sense. I'm playing on my Pro controller. I want to listen to the sound while it's in dock mode, and I can't, because what? There's no controller headphone jack. Messaging friends, this is just a no-brainer. All online services between Microsoft and PlayStation have messaging. Why doesn't the Switch? I don't know. The Kickstand. Yes, I know it was changed on the OLED, but I still have a day one Switch and it's still pretty annoying. So if they could change that on the base model Switch, that would be great. Thank you very much, Nintendo. The game card flap. Since day one of the Switch, this has been the most annoying thing to me. Maybe not the most annoying thing, but one of the most annoying things that I can think of. Why doesn't it click all the way in all of the time? I swear, like on 50% of Nintendo Switch consoles, it just never works. It's always open for no reason at all. And on the DS, it didn't even have a flap. I don't understand why they had to have a flap, but for some reason, it's there and it doesn't close and it's annoying. Wasted screen space on the dock. You know, when the Switch first came out, we all thought, ooh, we'd have notifications on the little bar thing. But no, all it shows is that it's charging when it's in the dock if you click a button. Wasted home button light. Some of you may actually not know this, but on the right Joy-Con and the Pro controller, the home button is actually lined with a blue light. This blew me away, no pun intended, when I plugged my controller into my PC for the first time. And the fact that it hasn't been used on the Switch at all, but for some reason it's there, is just so weird. Wasted sensor. What is this thing even for? You got the stupid sandwich game in 1-2 Switch that didn't even use it to its fullest potential. And then you had Nintendo Labo, which did some cool things with it. And also one other game I totally forgot about, Resident Evil, where you used it to reload your gun. Kind of cool, but really it's just a glorified button at that point. So I don't know. Maybe you could use that for something, Nintendo, or maybe just cut it so we can have a cheaper Switch. I don't know, maybe. Cloud saves locked to Nintendo Switch Online members. I guess you need to validate that price somehow. Screenshot button disabled. Okay, if you've ever had a younger sibling or an annoying friend play with the left Joy-Con, you'll know that they'll spam the screenshot button and then fill up your storage so you can't download any more games. You have to go one by one and delete all the photos. There should just be a way to disable this button in the settings. Please, 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 please. If there's one thing I'd change about the Switch, is that if you went to the YouTube app and then you looked up Switch Stop and then you went to the little button that says subscribe, that you hit it. It's so crazy that some of you just haven't done this, but if we could change this, that'd be super great. Friend codes. Again, it is 2022. Why are we having friend codes? Handles. YouTube just added this the other week, and I know it's kind of controversial, but I personally love it. And if they could add this to Nintendo accounts, this would be amazing, because then we wouldn't have to have friend codes anymore, and that we could actually look up the name of our friends and just, you know, friend them without having to put in a friend code or anything dumb like that. Joy-Con bumper buttons. Hands are big, and I don't like pressing the little buttons because they hurt my hands when I'm playing Super Mario Party, and I hate that game. I hate it at all. Asymmetrical Joy Con Colors. Okay, story time. I was 15 at the time. I was going to Target with my stepdad to sit outside of Target and wait for the Switch, March 3rd, 2017, and I bought the gray Switch. I know, sue me, but I wanted to be a man. I didn't want any of those kitty colorful Switches. You know why? I love red and blue, my favorite two colors, but why were the colors separated? I don't get it. I don't get why they're red and blue. Why can't we have a red Switch or a blue Switch or I would have bought them if they were red. I would have bought them if they're blue. But why were they asymmetrical? I hated that. And me and my friend, when I convinced him to get a Switch, I got him to get the colorful Joy-Cons so I could go and buy the colorful Joy-Cons separately. And they're different. I convinced him to trade my blue Joy-Con for his red Joy-Con so I could have red Joy-Cons and he could have blue Joy-Cons and we could all sleep peacefully with symmetrical Joy-Cons. I don't know why they're asymmetrical. I don't think it's cute. I think it's really, really annoying. Front-heavy releases. The Switch in 2017 and 2018 had some banger games, probably because they learned their lesson with the Wii U and learned, we actually need to have games when this thing launches. I think that they forgot after the first 2 years that they're actually supposed to continue updating with new games. I don't know, maybe that's just me, but where's Mario? Hardware customization. My favorite thing that never caught on was the 3DS plates. I thought that was the coolest idea. Those plates on the 3DS were super cool, and I think they'd really fit well with the back of the Switch. No internet browser. That's it. That's what I want to change. I want an internet browser. Lack of HD rumble. I don't know. I think the HD rumble was a super cool idea, and I think it's been super underutilized. I can think of maybe only 2 games that used it, and I would play neither of them. So that's what I got to say about that. Voice chat. I'm not going to use this app to chat with anybody ever because it sucks and I won't use it, and that's that. Peer-to-peer instead of dedicated servers. Yes, using my own internet to power your games instead of you having your own servers. Makes perfect sense. Friend limits. Why can't I have more than 500 friends on my Switch? I don't get it. Only 32 gigabytes of storage. After buying like 2 or 3 games, you're gonna have to go out and buy an SD card. Game invites. Why can't I invite my friends to go play a game? Why do I have to do that through other means? Streetpass. I adore Streetpass. Streetpass is one of the most creative things Nintendo's ever done, and it kind of flopped. It was on the 3DS, and 3DS didn't have a great start, and it caught on in niche places, but it's too bad it wasn't ever on the DS or something like the Switch, because I would no doubt think it'd be one of the most popular features on all of those systems. Ugly Nintendo Switch Online button. In the beginning of the Switch, we had the news, we had the eShop, we had screenshots, and then we had controllers and settings. That was it. There was the power button. I forgot the power button. But then they added the Nintendo Switch Online button. And you think, oh, they'd create it in the same art style, wouldn't they? Wouldn't they? Oh dear God, what is that thing? Nintendo Switch Online Menu Laggy. Well, if you ever decide to click on that horrid button, you'd realize that it is the most laggy thing of all time, even if you're using an Ethernet cable, and for some reason it just does that, and I don't understand why. Folders. For real this time. Please just let me organize my games on the main screen. Please, I don't understand why I can't do that. God, this is gonna be the most annoying video of all time. I hope you guys are enjoying it. If you are, please hit Acheivements. I don't know. I don't even know what to talk about with this one. I think Acheivements would be super cool. Maybe something similar to like Toadette's from Mario Odyssey, but less annoying. Expansion Pass price reduction. I think the Expansion Pass is a fine bundle, but if you could just dial it back maybe like $10, it's a little bit too much. I think 40 is still too much. I think 30 is the right number, but Nintendo's gonna Nintendo, and we're getting to the point where it's almost worth it. Maybe not quite yet. More Amiibo support. I miss Amiibo. I think Amiibos are cool. Maybe all of you guys hate Amiibos, but I think having like an Amiibo game based on Amiibos, it would probably flop. I feel icky about the Amiibos because they were just big for Smash, and besides that, they really haven't had any functionality at all, besides like little things, and I think having a game that utilizes them correctly would be great. Funny profile pictures. Why can't I upload my own profile pictures? I understand why, but I think it'd be cool if we had our own profile pictures that we could upload. Maybe they have to go through a screening process, but I think that'd be great. Night shift. Okay, we've got this light and dark theme, but why can't they switch when it's daylight and nighttime? I think that'd be super cool. Pictochat. This is my favorite thing from the DS. If they could add this, I know it's dumb. Nobody would probably use it, but I like drawing little things. Customizable eShop. You know how I was saying that the eShop is just kind of void and has no personality? Why can't we like change the colors or, add music? During Mario's 35th anniversary, it was red, but now it's orange again. Why can't we change the colors? Why can't we pick music for it? They don't have to even make music. They can just have like a little music slider and it's like, ooh, I want the Wii Shop music, or ooh, I want the Everybody Votes channel music, or I want blah, 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 blah. Just, make it customizable, make it interesting. Flipnote Studio. The little animations and all of that stuff created so much creativity inside me and so many others, and maybe I'm showing my age a little bit, but you know, I would love to have that on the Switch. Colorblind Mode. Literally every single system I know today besides the Switch has a colorblind mode. It's very simple to add. They've done grayscale and inverted colors. Why can't we have colorblind mode? Haptic buttons. Okay, I just downloaded iOS 16 the other day, and my favorite part about it is the haptic buttons. Here, I'll click right now and just listen to this. Oh, wait, you can't listen to the haptic. You can, okay. Anyways, haptic, it's very satisfying. And I think if we had haptic buttons where we press a button and then we had like, you know, you could implement HD rumble where it's just in that little section, maybe super cool. Quicktime menu from the lock screen. If when we opened up our Switch, it showed like the 3 last played games and then like friends you could invite to a game from the lock screen menu, I think that'd be super, super cool. Can't turn off Switch from the controller. The fact that you have to go all the way to your Switch and hold the power button to scroll down and turn off your system is so weird. I understand most people keep in sleep mode, but you know, some people like turning their systems off, and the fact that they can't do that from their couch or wherever they're sitting and have to go up to the dock to do it, I think that's super odd. Change the text size. I think just from an accessibility standard, I think this is one of the most important things the Switch can add. Maybe even just like a bold feature, just some way to make it like a little bigger would help in a big way. A real passcode. What is this passcode thing? It's 3, you click the button 3 times. Anybody that's older than the age of 4 can unlock that. What is the point of that? Other than playing with the cool sound effects, there's no point at all. More Mii functionality. Nintendo has the best avatars in the business and nobody's been able to top that since. I think they're losing a big opportunity with Mii, and they should add them to more things. A Phillips CDi port. Right when I heard about the Switch, this is the first thing I thought of. Come on, Nintendo. I was dying to play my copy of Zelda, the Wand of Game Leon, on my Switch. A flashlight. I don't know. What if I want to see in the dark? Raise to wake. Again, another feature pulled straight from the iPhone. If I pick it up, oh, and I look at it, it turns on. Why do I have to click a button? We have gyroscope. Raise to wake. Let's do it. Spotify. I want to listen to some tunes. Give me my tunes. A better dock. I think at this point, most people know what the Switch is. We don't need a dock that we have to set in. Why can't we just plug it into our USB-C? I think come the next Switch, this is the way to go. Modding capabilities. Okay, maybe I'm getting way out of hand, but I don't know. Being able to like mod your games, like my favorite things to watch on YouTube right now are those multiplayer Odyssey mods. Like, game sharing. Okay, this is similar to download play. I would like to be able to play Mario Kart or any of those multiplayer games with my friends that don't have those games. Just give them like an online demo where I can play Mario Kart with them. They have to play with the most basic card customizations, blah, blah, blah. I don't know. I think that'd be pretty cool. A cellular switch. The Switch is the king of portability, and having a cellular switch that you can play online anywhere off the grid, maybe not off the grid, but off the Wi-Fi would just be killer. Like, come on, refunds. Just give us like a 7-day grace period or like 3 days or any days at all. Why when I buy a game, is it locked in my library forever and I can't ever refund it? Gift games. Another thing pulled straight from Steam. I'd like to, you know, gift my friends games without having to buy a game code. I think this is pretty simple. Why not add it? More Nintendo Switch online game libraries. This is an obvious one. This will definitely be happening. Hopefully I didn't jinx that. But, you know, Game Boy, GameCube, maybe DS in the future. I don't know. I want to play more games, and having them on my Switch is a no-brainer. Cross-platform discounts. So when I buy a game, let's say like Minecraft, why do I have to go buy it on my Switch now for $60 when I already have it on Java on my computer, I'll already have it on Xbox on my Xbox? Maybe just like a discount or like some way I can not have to pay full price again. I think that would be cool, but you know, they'll never do it. Cross-platform save data. Now this one is possible because it's possible through third-party games like Fall Guys, and that's the only one I can think of at the top of my head, but other games do this as well. But you know, smaller games where I can save my data between my Switch and my PC, I'd love to see it. So that's why it's in this video. A waterproof Switch. Why can't I play my Switch in the shower? This is the first thing that popped in my head when I thought of the Switch, and I can't play in the shower? Getting way too toxic for this video. Cancel pre-orders. Again, this is just another Nintendo flaw about them. They don't let you do anything that's cool or hip or, you know, nice. The doodads on the back of my Switch. Okay. You may not know what I'm talking about, but if you flip your Switch over to its back and you see the Nintendo Switch logo, if you look below it, you see another Nintendo logo for some reason, and then you see supportnintendo.com mod. Pack 001 or some other system number. Input, Entree, Entrada, and then a bunch of different things that don't make sense, like FCC and like made in China. And can we not have this internally? I think it makes the Switch ugly. And even if you look under the Switch, it's got a freaking barcode. What do you think I'm doing with my Switch? I'm not selling it retail full price. What's a barcode doing on there? Can people just buy Switches like without a box and just go ding? I don't get it. Why are these doodads on the back of my Switch? I don't want them there. Even on the back of the Joy-Cons, if you see, you got more logos. You got FCC, you got like a weird trash can thing that I don't know what that means, but I don't get it. Discord, again, voice chat thing, but also Xbox has Discord. I think being able to show people what kind of games you're playing without having to manually input them, which I don't know anybody that does that, but you might do that. I think Discord would be incredible. External hard drive functionality. Okay, this one's a bit of a meme, and I actually don't know if this worked. I'm kind of scared to do it, but what if I plugged in my external hard drive into the USB-C port? Would I be able to just like have infinite amount of storage, like a terabyte? That'd be pretty crazy. Camera, the 3DS had a camera. A cheaper Switch. Okay, before you guys yell at me, I know there's a Nintendo Switch Lite, but there's one flaw in that it is a Switch that does not switch. I'd like a cheaper Switch that does switch. So, get rid of all the things that don't make sense and nobody uses, like the weird little sensor guy, the Amiibo support, the HD rumble, I can't think of anything else. But there's definitely a way for Nintendo to make a cheaper Nintendo Switch. They can probably already do it with the system we already have and make it $250, but they will never do that. I'd like a Switch for around $200 or $250 that is fully capable of switching, but again, something we'll never see. A TV button. Okay, this is kind of dumb. We're kind of drawing the bottom of the barrel here, but you remember on the Wii U where you had that little TV button that let you control your TV? What if we had that on the Switch? 2 card readers. Okay, I have a couple cartridges, but I hate keeping them in my case and they always get lost and blah, blah, blah. This may just sound super dumb. What if we had 2 card readers that we could like put 2 cards in and then you could never mind, it's dumb, but I'm keeping it in. A Switch Pro controller. That Xbox controller that lets you switch out the D-pad and the different analog sticks and blah, blah, blah. We should get a Pro controller that does that. A weather app. The Wii had a weather app. How does the Switch not have a weather app? Beyond me. I don't get it. Twitter. I'm already addicted to Twitter as it is, and if you want to have more engagement on my Switch, then just add Twitter, and then I'll be there for another 3 hours. Thank you very much. Check Me Out channel. Again, I love the Miis. I want to look at more people's Miis, and the Check Me Out channel is the channel for that. Everybody Votes channel. This was my favorite channel on the Wii. I don't know why. Why does democracy just interest me so much? Why do I want to look at what people have to say about whether they like oranges or bananas? I just love data. Food delivery apps. Why can't I order a pizza from my Switch? A transparent Switch. Okay, one of my favorite things about early 2000s, late 90s tech is the transparent gadgets. I thought being able to look inside and see what is actually making my gadget work was so cool, and having a transparent Switch would be insanely cool. A voice assistant. Hey Switch, turn on Mario Kart.
Okay, turning on Mario Kart.
A stylus. We've got a touchscreen and it's not really utilized that much, but for games like Mario Maker and drawing, why can't we have a Nintendo stylus that's super smooth? I think that'd be really, really nice. VR. Now, we've got the Labo headset, but I feel like there's more Nintendo can do with VR, and I think it goes beyond Labo. Left-handed controllers. I have been saying this for years, and I'm not even left-handed, but why is it the right side of the controller that has, the trigger that most people use for shooting and shooting games, and got the main buttons, the A, B, X, Y, and then the left side is like, ooh, a D-pad that nobody uses, and move stick. Controllers are biased towards right-handed players, and we should have left-handed controllers to offset that for left-handed players. Post clips to YouTube. If you can post clips to both Twitter and Facebook, why we can't post them to YouTube? And lastly, widgets. I would love to have widgets on my main screen or even my main menu. Show me little things like, ooh, my friend played this today, or ooh, the weather is this today, or just little things like that I feel like would add so much to the Nintendo Switch experience. Thanks for making it to the end. I know this is kind of different style video for me because I'm used to the, big scripts and blah, blah, blah. This was one of my first unscripted videos where I kind of just went at it. So if you love it, tell me. If you hate it, tell me please, because then I will stop doing that. And go watch this video about 100 Super Mario facts that you may not know. And be sure to watch number 72. You don't want to miss that one.